Okay, so my first successful standard battle against Kooper. This is... I was expecting Pursuit here, which would have murdered Somnium, but he doesn't have it on his Weavile, so that was swell. Altair, right here, my SKARMORY, is brand new, made a few days ago. This is its first match, and it does very well. It scared away that thing, and then started using spikes. I don't believe I've ever used the attack spikes in the entire history of the game, so that's swell for me. I stopped the charge beam, which is funny. Set up some stealth rocks. He did his first of many unsuccessful shadow balls in an attempt to get a special defense drop, but then Grenade Man, who I don't have a fire attack to deal with, so I was a bit worried, but Earthquake did a lot of damage. Look at that. That was a nice chunk of damage. Not enough to kill it with another one, but then this happened. I got a critical hit, which also didn't kill it, but it's going to die if it ever comes back in again, if I have another set of spikes up. So it's gone now. And so are my spikes and Stealth Rock, and he has his Togekiss. I switched to my new Tentacruel, Illyria, who wishes to do more violence, who scared it away. I'm not really sure why. It doesn't have Ice Beam, just FYI. And then here's his Gallade, which is nifty. And I expected the Psycho Cut. I switched out to Altair again, took the Psycho Cut, and probably should have used spikes or something, because I knew he was going to switch, but I went for the attack anyway. He went to Skull Man, who I hate, who took apparently 61 damage. Not very impressive. So I used this chance to get more spikes. He misses Will-O-Wisp because it has one eye and cannot aim. Death Perception is your friend. More spikes, it's delicious stuff. Then Will-O-Wisp hit, and that sorta sucks, but no big deal. Wasn't gonna do much attacking with him anyway. Got a full 3 layers of spikes. He started Ice Punching, which not very impressive. I believe I switch here to Illyria again. Maybe. Right? Yeah. And I think I should have gone straight for the toxic spikes right here. But I decided to use Surf just to see how much I would do. And it was not very good. Then I get burned again, but it doesn't really matter for Illyria. It takes away her Black Sludge, which is so much cooler than Leftovers. Then I put the toxic spikes up. One turn too late, but as it turns out, Mega Man had a Lumberry apparently, so it didn't really matter, I guess. I switched to Mind Games, which was a bad idea, but he Swords Danced. So his Shadow Sneak, which would have, ripped him apart, does nothing useful because Focus Sash. And then it dies to Shadow Ball, which makes me lol. And then out comes Blissey. That's Medi, his Blissey. There we go. It gets poisoned, and it takes a bunch of damage, because, woo, entry hazards. He zooms in, I don't know why, not my video, as I trick him to take away his Leftovers. I expected him to kill Mind Games there, but he decided to get rid of the poison instead, so Mind Games gets away free. He finally Shadow Balls, only to meet Brinstar again, and again, no special defense drop. I set up more Stealth Rock as he heals, but whatever. He goes away, Beat comes out, takes a bunch of damage from and then it gets seeded. The screen does some funky things as the Leech Seed takes away his health. Little pause while I was trying to figure out what was the best course of action. I go with Somnium in a second. There we are. He air slashes, doesn't deal half damage, which made me smile. Gets Leech Seeded again. And I knew he was going to switch, so I should have done something else. But it turns out it didn't really matter because he switches to Grenade Man, to be a martyr. Grenade Man comes out, gets killed by spikes, dies. Thunderball hits nothing, and then Skullman comes out, who I do not like. Apparently, he forgot about the toxic spikes when he sent him out. So now he's poisoned and heavily damaged, and it's funny. I switched to Harbinger, expecting the Shadow Sneak, and what do you know? He used Shadow Sneak! Ah! And that did nothing. I go with Night Slash because I figure even if he switches, it'll probably do good damage to whatever it hits. But he doesn't switch, he just takes it. Which, I don't know. Probably could have. I don't know, whatever. So out comes Beat again, which I honestly forgot would, of course, have Aura Sphere. So I went for the Stone Edge, but then he Aura Spheres, and I take a whole bunch of damage, and it sucks. But then I survive with 7 HP. That's what it's all about. Harbinger is awesome. Look at that. Takes out Beat, which I was worried about. Then Tomahawk Man comes in, gets brutalized by the entry hazards. I wish I got a second set of Toxic Spikes up. That's my basis of my move at this battle. Then Night Slash is only to meet Altair again. Then I just let the poison do its thing. I heal up here after he brick breaks, which was kind of dumb. He could have done a little more damage with Ice Punch, but wouldn't have changed much. Tomahawk Man dies because Altair is awesome, I guess. I don't know. Altair had nothing to do with it. He just stood there and took hits. Medi comes back in because that's all he's got left. I drill pecked one last time just to see what it would do, if it's worth trying. And I decided, nah, I'm going to go over to Brinstar. He expected me to switch, so went with Shadow Ball. He could have used Charge Beam there and got a little special attack boost, but now it's too late. All he's got to deal with Brinstar now. He tries healing. That's swell. I Leech Seed, so he's got Poison and Leech Seed without the leftovers because Mind Games is holding on to those. Because, yeah. Earthquake almost kills it. He goes with the Shadow Ball again. And that's it for him. Delicious. Well, that was swell. I beat him 6-0, and that's awesome. Peace.